So I have taken the CT for patient Chandra Kamal, right? The orthognathic case that we were doing. So just taken that, right? I have selected the 1 mm slice cuts, right? So that time we did an incisor. Now let's do a molar, right? But before that, I would want you to just observe the difference in the mask I'm creating for tooth. So I'll use tooth CT. I'm going to further threshold it. So if you see, threshold tries and eliminates as much of the bone. I'm going to click OK. So clicking keep largest is not ideal because you don't know what the software will omit and what it will retain. Now I would want to just do region grow and see how much I can isolate. So if you see this section is remaining, I'll just click onto it. Yes. So it's important when you click region grow and tooth segmentation at least that you go and check if you have not missed out any tooth, because region grow mein only the connected pixels are carried forward, and because of the thresholding some connections between the tooth can be broken. So make sure that you scroll through the entire scan before clicking OK. So yes, all the tooths have come in. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to recalculate the mask. I hope you can see the difference between the tooth we extracted through CBCT and that to CT scan, right? You see we require work here, so we'll do that. Let's work on the molar here. So what I'll do is I'll try isolating the molar. So what I would do is I would first do split mask and focus only on the molar, right? So to understand the start point, I'm using the 3D navigator bar. So it indicates where my starting point is, right? So this is the tooth I would want to isolate. So I'm going to do split mask. Basically, I'm going to just split once the mandible molar of the right side from the remaining tooth. So, right, molar, mandible, and this is going to be my rest, right? I'm just going to decrease the dia, zoom in on the view, and start marking. Zoom out and mark the remaining things. Again, zoom in. Mark the molar. Just want to see if I've marked on enough slices. Just going to mark on this slice because this is where I can see the connections coming in between the two. So what I'm going to now do is I'm just going to close and try and visualize the border for myself and further reduce that, right? This seems ideal. And please zoom out and mark the remaining. I'm going to click OK. So in tooth segmentation, what is important while doing split mask is to understand where the tooth is getting connected. So like for us, we had to segregate the molar out, right? So we have to understand where that tooth is connected to the remaining of your section and accordingly isolate. So I'm just going to calculate molar. Click, click. Okay. So this is how it looks like, right? Close the thing. I'm now going to complete the tooth. So again, completing the tooth is again multi-slice edit. I'm going to zoom in on this view, how it is. Understand. Section is remaining. So it is multi-slice edit. First, I'm just going to complete the tooth. So use lasso. Click OK and see what difference it has made. This is what difference we have made. This is how it looked previously. Now this is how we have to work on this extension. So I'm going to use the sagittal view now. I'm just going to scroll through the slices and visualize if I'm missing some places. Seems fine to me. I'm going to click OK. Now we'll just trace the canal. For that, I'm going to try using dynamic region growth. We can. I'm going to use this as 5 and 5. Fill cavities, multiple layer. Try and see if it is taking the region in between. Because sometimes region growth does take in if the borders are well defined. So, even a small, maybe if I increase it to 15 and 15. Let's see. Changing the marking. You have to keep playing with the values. There are two options. One is using dynamic region group. The other is 35 by 35 and this be my sleep point. I'm just going to click close. I have the orange mask with me. I'm going to try now using Smart Expand. I'm going to keep my target mask as molar mandible. With 15 and apply. cancel that, and we can try 20 and apply. So I'm just showing you the different methods that you can use. One was dynamic region grow. The second is smart expand. Now other one is morphology operation. So now you can see here, I'll just calculate this part for us. On transparency as my option. Just a small section that's been created. I have to further expand it, right? For that, what we can do is we can also try morphology operation. I'm going to try on orange mask. I'm going to limit my mask to molar mandible. Say 2 pixels and apply. So try and calculate the mask. Okay, so we have an empty mask here. I'm going to delete these to try doing morphology operations again. So I had not chosen dilate as my option. So my source mask is orange. I have to dilate it till and apply. So if you were to visualize, okay, so this, so we're going for a very limited value. I'm going to try and change my source to orange and try 3 pixels connectivity and click apply and see what do we get. This is what magenta looks like. But again, I think the red that we had created was ideal. So we'll just stick to it. And we'll finish the borders manually. I'm going to zoom in on the coronal and using multi-slice edit, threshold. This is minus 89 left, or max B 15. Let's try and reach out. So we do select few pixels. So this is where this is molar. Another easiest way of tracing your canal is using the trace option that we had used for uh, no. You just keep going. So this is something that it looks like using the trace option. Similarly, if I were to trace the canal for other tooths that we have, let's say we're tracing for canine. This is the complete set that we have. I'm tracing for the maxillary component. I'm going to close this. And now when I transparent this, you can visualize this. You can change the thickness of the spline as per your requirements. So right now it's quite thick. I'll go to properties and change the thickness to say 1.5. So yes, now it traces the canal exactly. Similarly, you can do for the others, right? Now what I want to do is, where will you place the guide? Will it be directly on the tooth, or you will have some section of the gums along with it?
Not on the gums. It will just cover the occlusal table.
Sorry, like no.
It will cover the.
So and is it like a surgical guide? I have very less knowledge on dental guides.
Yes. It's quite similar to a surgical guide. The only thing is that the that recess or that hole which is prepared is into the canal.
Okay.
So more similar to an implant guide, maybe.
Okay, understood, understood. Got the idea. So basically, let's assume if we were to create a guide for any particular tooth you want to see the guide for, I'll accordingly then just isolate the canal and show it to you.
I think we can go for anterior or
Anterior?
whichever. Yeah, you
Okay, okay.
isolated the molar base.
Okay, so what, let's assume that we want to create the guide for the molar, or let's do one molar first, right? So I'm going to create the maxilla and mandible for them. So the guide creation will have to be in thematic. Anything that has design involved in it has to be shifted to thematic, because you know the tools and functionalities available there. Here, what you do is you basically extract the anatomy. So I'm just going to now calculate this blue. This is basically the maxilla and mandible bone that I've created. And I'm going to now copy all the things that we have traced here into 3-matic. Right? So we have our complete tooth anatomy here. Now I'm just going to copy these into my thematic project. Let this be. So it's important that before you copy anything to the clipboard, a thematic project is already there. So I am going to now paste. Right. I'm going to rename. Right. Since we were able to trace the anterior better, I will just show you for anterior. First, what we are going to do is we're going to transparent the bone into high, right? And when we do that, we can see the tooth components, right? And when I transparent the tooth components, I can see the canal that I had traced, right? It's visible here. You can see the slight orange part. Let's assume we want to create a guide for that. So the first thing that we would want to do is we would want to create a cylinder around the tooth, right? So I am going to now hide the bone. The bone is for our surface extraction. So, and I'm going to hide. So you go to design, you first create a cylinder. Cylinder is basically for us to understand the path, right? So we have to understand that it has to be guided and the path has to be the same as that of the canal. So we'll go to design, we'll go to create a primitive, create primitive, and create cylinder. I'm going to give a 2-point option. So point 1 is somewhere here on triangle surface, and my point 2 will be somewhere here on the tip of this tool. Right. Now, by the placement of what I'm understanding is, so why I have done the model as transparent is so to understand that if the dimensions that I've selected for the cylinder is feasible for the canal or no. So what I can see is no, it's not feasible. I need to decrease the dimension. So I'm going to make the radius as 1. All the measurements that occur in 3-matic are in mm. So basically, right now my radius is 1 mm, which makes my dia to be 2. I'm going to click apply. Basically, now I have a pathway ready. And I can now further adjust it. I can see the canal is slightly behind. So I'm going to just translate this. Again, for translation, I'm going to align and translate option. What I see is this arrow the coordinate system that is currently visible to me does not meet my exact requirement of movement. So I'm going to just change and see what meets my requirement exactly. I don't think this works. It's the object coordinate. Yeah, inertia. So inertia is still better. I think, yeah, we have to shift it slightly behind. So I'm going to just move it slightly into the canal. So yeah, now it's going centrally into the canal. If required, you can further decrease the dimension, but now you at least know what is your direction of the canal, right? So this basically becomes your guiding cylinder. Now I'm going to close this and have my bone. The first thing that we need to do is we need to trim this area short, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first duplicate this and so this will become my guiding cylinder or guiding slot base. What do I mean by a slot base? So what we have right now done is we have created the pathway through which when we our guide wire should pass, maybe, right? So we have to now create a surrounding or create a slot around this. So when you guys are actually using the guide, it just behaves as or gives you the exact angle and direction. So for that, I am going to first give it, I'm going to hollow this cylinder, right? So I'm going to go to design. I'm going to use the operation hollow. I am going to give at least a thickness of hollow. I'm going to give a thickness of at least 1.5 to the hollow. Right? And now, of course, the opening has to be, we have, we are supposed to have an opening, right? So I'm going to just trim this. I'm going to go to finish and select the option of trim. This is my entity remove inner. So I'm going to just create a slot here. I'm going to click apply. That time I had cut a little more than the bone, so I'm just done this transparent so I can visualize the bone through the function. And if you can see, the orange is passing exactly through the middle. So I'm just going to trim this now. Make sure you change your entity. I think because you've not fixed the file, I'm getting an error. Because ideally there should be a slot here, but I think we've not fixed the file and so we're facing the error. So we'll first go and fix the file. So just in case if you're doing, you're performing any function and you're getting an irregular output, always know that you have to fix the file because of which the error may be generating. So my file, I'm just going to run a fix. So it says 2 shells. So basically I need to delete the internal shell that it has created. The mark, invert, and delete the internal shell that it has created. I'm going to update this, and yes, check for triangle also. So yeah, just good. Now we're going to just trim this. So you have a solid opening here. Now what I'll do is to create the hollow or to create the opening, I'm going to just subtract my guiding cylinder from my slot. And this is what I obtained. So basically now you've obtained your guiding slot, but you would require fixation points. So to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tooth anterior to it as a fixation point, let's say. So what I'm going to now do is, this is my guiding slot main. Because we will require a fixation point, I'm going to assume that we are going to fixate on this tooth. So for that, I'm going to now create a surface. This process is similar to the surgical guide process that we were doing.